Hello everyone, it is Canadian Futures Trader here. It is currently March 2021, and in this video I'm going to go over comparing Tradovate versus NinjaTrade Brokerage. So let's get to Okay guys, so here is my website. If you're interested, link down below, of course, it's CanadianFuturesTrader.ca. You can read all a little bit about me and my background. If you're interested, I have information about the different trader valuations as well as my reviews. You can see those here. I also rank them. Some of them, there's like TopStep's 20% off. If you're interested in TopStep, etc., check those out. If you would like to read some of the articles, I've actually been heavily writing articles lately along with the reviews. I have about 10 more articles planned, not yet written as of the date of this recording, but definitely been trying to be fairly active on creating content to share with people. And lastly, on the next slide, I'll mention risk disclosure. If you want to read about all the reasons why you should never trade futures and you might lose all your money, it is on the risk disclosure page. So quick risk disclosure in the video description is the full written risk disclosure. I encourage you to read that, and as well it is on my website, which I just showed. And basically, trading futures is risky. You might lose all your money. You can lose all your money. Nothing in this video is a recommendation that you take up futures trading, nor that you go run and open a brokerage account with either of these brokerages. I'm just giving you my kind of overview of what they're about. So let's get to the fun stuff. So what I'm going to cover in this video, basically I'm going to do a quick introduction to each of the two brokerages, Tradovate and NinjaTrade Brokerage. Then we're going to get into kind of the different points that I think are important, especially to new traders. Again, all this information is coming from my perspective as a new trader. I'm only a year in. I did a lot of research on different brokerages, and I decided to open accounts at NinjaTrade Brokerage and Tradovate. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But basically, I'm going to compare them on starting deposit, the margins required, the commissions you're going to pay, their trading platforms, account management, which is a big one, and then overall recommendation. So why did I open accounts at both of these? So I just mentioned I'm in my first year of trading, essentially. I spent most of my time my first year trading the different trader valuations, which I have reviewed on my site. So TopStep, OneUp, Intraday, LeeLoo are the four that I, at one point or another, went through. I did manage to get funded by 3 of these, still currently funded by 2 of them. I wanted to have my own personal trading accounts ready to go for when I started making the big money. And I say that a bit tongue-in-cheek, but if you are familiar with the different trader evaluation programs, you know that once you reach a certain level, it's an 80-20 split. You get to keep 80% of your profits, they keep 20, which isn't a bad deal to start with because, you know, you have access probably to a lot more contracts to trade than you would with your own capital. But there will come a point when, you know, if you are successful and you've made enough money. For example, let's say you had a evaluation account and you're allowed to trade up to 10 lots. Well, there might come a point where you have enough capital that you could trade 10 lots in your own personal account and not have to give up 20%. So that's kind of, I was thinking ahead. As well, the next point here, there's no cost in having an account. So once you do the initial paperwork and sign up and the initial deposits, there's no fees. So there's no cost in having these accounts. So I figured I would just get them open and ready to go. I researched multiple options. I went with these 2. There are plenty of other good options on my website. I have listed out several options for both US and for Canadians. So if you want to check those out, I'll always keep it updated and add any new ones I come across. So a note for Canadian, options are definitely more limited in Canada as far as future trading relative to the US. Visit my website. There's a brokerages tab. You can look on there. I keep it updated with what your options are. There are several brokerages that are either in Canada, they tend to have really high margin requirements, or there's several in the US that will allow Canadians to open accounts. Or as a third option, some you can open a US kind of corporation or limited liability company and open a US brokerage that route. So you have options. I'm not here to discuss all the options of those right now, but basically you can open accounts with US brokerages. Let's get on with Tradovate and NinjaTrade Brokerage. So just some quick highlights. I want to get more to the meat of comparing the two. So this is directly off the NinjaTrade site. Discount pricing, low margins. We're going to get to the margins. Low minimum. Open your account with $400. We're going to get to that. And free platform. So we're going to get to this as well. It is true. NinjaTrader software is free when you open an account, but you will have limited abilities with it. Again, I'll get to that. Tradovate, just a quick screenshot as well. It says right here, trade with no commitment. Basically, it's kind of the same thing, like trade for free using our software. They also have low deposit, low minimums, etc. So let's get to it. So the starting deposit, let's start with that. I've abbreviated. So NinjaTrade Brokerage, $400 US is the opening deposit. Tradovate, $250. So, I mean, sure, Tradovate is cheaper, but is this a big difference? No, not whatsoever. I will mention, so when I opened my account at both these, I did just the bare minimum because, again, remember, I opened my accounts sometime mid-2020. I wasn't even looking to trade my own money at that point. I just wanted to start the process of opening accounts. So I did the minimums. It's no issue. So worth noting, if you were actually planning on trading with just this amount of money, pretty much you're only going to be able to trade the micros. The margin requirements for micros is it's $50 in NinjaTrader, it's $55 in Tradovate. Not highly recommend it. I mean, just personally, the commission rates are fairly high on micros relative to what you're trading, so you're going to have to perform pretty well. I would say, like I did, like I mentioned here, I just wanted to get accounts open. I wasn't really planning on trading with this small amount of capital. On the plus side, though, once you open your account, that's it. There's no fees. It's not like there's a monthly fee or anything like that, or an inactivity fee, nothing like that. I just leave my accounts open until I was ready to deposit real money and start trading. So let's talk about intraday margins. I'm not focusing on the overnight margins and all that stuff just because I personally am a scalper. I trade intraday. I never leave a position open overnight. If that is your thing, you will have to go check those out yourself. Just know the margins are higher, obviously. So I listed out 3 different products just to give you an idea. So ES, ZB, which is the 30-year bond, and crude oil. The reason I did these is these are 3 products that I trade. So NinjaTrader, ES, this is the margin requirement. So basically, if you want to trade 1 contract of ES, you would need $500 that they will set aside while you are in your trade. So like I mentioned, with like a $400 deposit, you could not even trade 1 contract of ES. So let's say, for example, you had $1,000 in your account, you open a position for 1 contract of ES. Well, $500 is kind of set aside, and now you have $500 remaining that you could potentially lose before they just kick you out of the trade. So ES 500, ZB 500, crude oil 2,000. I do like that they use nice even numbers. Tradovate, a little bit higher. So ES 550, not a big difference. ZB, though, huge difference, more than 4 times the amount. You need 2,200 per contract. Crude oil, higher, not like 2 or 3 times, but it's still a bigger amount. So the winner here on margins is definitely NinjaTrade Brokerage. I mean, it's going to be the similar story across all products. So check them out, though, on their websites. It's out there. Information's open to anyone. You can see what the margins are and see what they are for products you trade. But in general, I'm going to say NinjaTrader wins on that front. I listed micros here. They're 50 at NinjaTrader, 55 at Tradovate, just so you know. So they're basically the same there. So commissions, let's talk about commissions for a few minutes. All-in commissions. So they both list them out on their website. These are, it's going to be the commission to the brokerage itself, any routing fees, any other fees. This is everything you're going to pay. So the commissions I've listed here are for a 1 lot of ES, just to keep it simple. Again, the story is the same. So the commissions might be different for like the Ultra Bond and the 30-year bond and whatever at crude oil, but how they stack up is going to be kind of the same. So with NinjaTrade Brokerage, there's 3 levels of account you can have, and same thing with Tradovate, and we're going to talk about those in a second. But just for now, if you have the free account, you're going to pay $269. Now this is per side, per lot. So that means if you trade 1 contract of ES, you're going to pay $269 when you buy it. You're going to pay $269 when you sell it. So round trip, it's over $5. The mid-tier, you pay a little bit less, $239. Lifetime, $199. Tradovate, commissions are cheaper. The free account they offer is $213. Their mid-tier is $153, and their paid version is $134. So pretty big difference here, in the pricing on commissions. So the winner here is obviously Tradovate. Commissions are just far less. So, but see the next slide for the cost, because to get to these cheaper commission levels, you need to pay fees or membership. So cost of membership. So free, they both have a free option, and that's it. There's no cost of the membership. The mid-tier ones that they both offer, the way NinjaTrader does it is you are effectively leasing a copy of NinjaTrader. It's $720 annually. They do have quarterly options, semi-annual options. They obviously work out to a little bit more when you do that, but I just listed the annual to make it comparative. Tradovate, they have their trader plans. So their mid-tier is $948 annually. Or if you want to pay monthly, you can. It's $99 a month. This works out to $79 a month if you pay it all up front. So a little bit more for Tradovate. The highest level they have, so the highest level, you get the lowest commissions from that previous slide. So NinjaTrader, it's basically you buy a lifetime license to NinjaTrader. It's a one-time fee. It's $1,100. So you pay this once, you get the lowest commission tier, and you'll get all the upgrades and whatever that they issue. Tradovate, they don't have any type of lifetime plan. You just are basically paying a commission or a membership fee every year. Their largest one, or I should say their top tier one is $2,388 annually, kind of a weird amount. So definitely far more. This is a one-time fee for NinjaTrader. This is an annual fee for this. So the winner on the membership fees is obviously NinjaTrader. So looking at this, one would probably think, oh wow, NinjaTrader's got to be far better. I mean, even if you lease it, it's cheaper. Like, do you really make up the difference on commissions? Well, let's look at the next slide. I was actually a little bit surprised. So I ran the math for an example. I would encourage you, if you're trying to decide, do this math yourself for whatever products it is you trade and however many lots you trade, etc. So using this example, I did 2 lots of ES. Say you did 5 trades per day. So there's roughly 250 trading days in a year. I'm just using a round number. 2 lots times 5 trades a day times 250 days means you do 2,500 round trips per year. That means you have 205,000 buy and sell transactions combined. So let's do the math. So NinjaTrader cost year 1. So you do 2,500 trades. A trade meaning you buy and you sell. So remember, you pay commission on both the buy and the sell. So we have to multiply this by 2. You buy it and you sell it. So times 2 times the $1.99. And I'm just using the highest tier here. I mean, again, you'll have to do this math if you want one of the lower tiers. So you're going to pay almost $10,000 in commissions under this, plus your one-time $10,999 lifetime license means year 1 you're going to spend just over $11,000 in commissions and your trading plan fee. Year 2 onwards, you don't have to pay the $1,100, so you're just paying $9,900 in commissions. Again, assuming you trade 2 lots 5 times a day. Tradovate, the cost per year, same math, 2,500 trades, you buy and you sell, so you have times by 2. $1.34 commissions. Your commissions come out far cheaper, but your membership fee is much more, and you have to pay this every year. But that works out to $9,088. I was kind of surprised by this. So year 1, you actually end up cheaper with Tradovate, and year 2 onward, I mean, it's going to be the same, assuming you just trade at this. So year 2 onwards with NinjaTrader, about $10,000. Year 2 onwards with Tradovate, $9,000. So Tradovate actually works out a bit cheaper. The winner, though, I said it's up for you to decide. This math is going to change dramatically based on what you trade, etc. If you are a high-volume trader versus a low-volume trader, if you trade a lower commission product versus a higher commission product, you just have to do this math to decide. So, but there's the numbers for you. And like I said, these actually came out far closer than I expected. I really expected NinjaTrader to work out to be cheaper because of this big membership fee, but because of the lower commission structure, that makes up the difference. As far as trading platforms, so with NinjaTrade Brokerage, you obviously get NinjaTrader, the software. Very popular. I mean, I'm sure it's the #1 trading software that people use. There's tons of add-ons. There's tons of stuff you can program. There's strategies. There's huge communities devoted to it. For Tradovate, you get access to their Tradovate software. There is like a Tradovate, application you can download. As well, you can access it through the web, through a browser. There's also app versions, like if you want to access it on your iPhone or your iPad, as well as for the Mac. There's a Mac version. So it's far more accessible. So I should note with either of these, you can bolt on whatever additional software you want. So for example, I use Jigsaw Day Trader. I can plop Jigsaw Day Trader on top of either of these, and the software itself doesn't really matter at that point. So the winner I put as a draw. It depends on what's important to you. I will say this. So NinjaTrade is obviously super popular. I think most people gravitate towards this. Tradovate, personally, I like the ease of use. I like the accessibility. I love the fact that it's web-based. I love the fact that there's a Mac version. I'll get to that at the very end of the presentation, but just keep that in mind. So, but I will mention too, Tradovate is definitely not as powerful as NinjaTrader. Like all the extra stuff you can do with NinjaTrader, Tradovate will probably be a step behind with that. Account management. This is a big one, and it might not seem like it should be the big thing, but it is. So let me walk you through it. So NinjaTrade Brokerage, you can deposit and you can withdraw yourself online. You log into your account. Everything else, though, you pretty much have to email support. So if you want to add data to your different levels, you want to see the level 2, etc. If you want to set a stop loss. Now, I don't mean a stop loss in a trade. I mean like a drawdown on your account. So I should maybe phrase that better. You say, hey, if I lose more than $500 in a day, lock me out. You have to email them to set that. You can only have one bank account attached to your account. Like, for example, I wanted to add a second one, and I couldn't. I had to email them to remove my original bank account, and only then could I add my new one. Overall, it just feels dated. And the comparison I've made here is it's like if you logged into your bank account, and all you could do is kind of look at your balance, but you really couldn't do anything. You couldn't do bill pay. You couldn't send money to other people. You couldn't transfer money between your accounts. That type of stuff. Like, it really feels like you're pretty limited. And I think in this day and age, I don't 100% understand why it's that way. So compare that to Tradovate. You can manage everything online. It's doing the bank comparison. It's like if you had a normal bank account, you can do everything yourself online in your account. You can manage deposits and withdrawals. You can do ACH requests, wires, checks, like if you want to withdraw money or deposit money. All your data is managed on the website. So let's say, I want, the market data for all the markets. I go in and I click a few buttons and I add it to my account right then and there, and it's ready to go. I don't have to email support and wait a day, etc. Everything is managed in the app and the website. It's a very simple interface to use it. Even going back to NinjaTrade, you don't do any of the stuff through NinjaTrade. You have to log into a different portal with a capital management company. It's just all very dated. As well with Tradovate, and this is really what sells me, you can set pretty much everything yourself. You can set your personal limits, what products you're allowed to trade, how many contracts, your max contracts, your daily stop, your weekly stop, your profit goals. You could set a profit goal that says, hey, once I reach $1,000 today, lock me out of my account. You might say, why would you want to do that? Some people overtrade. I've done it myself where I make a bunch and then I want to keep going and I end up just giving back a bunch of that profit. You can set all of that stuff yourself, and it's right in the app, and it's very easy to use. You can also, the last point here is set lockouts. So for example, I could say, hey, if I hit a daily loss of like $500, lock me out of the account. And that's it. If you click that, they can't override it for you. You can't override it. It's a hard stop. And I like that because just having that and knowing that if I lose, let's say $500 in the day, I'm done for the day. Like, there's no way around it. So by knowing that, it forces you to trade maybe a little bit more responsibly. And or you save yourself from going on tilt. Like for example, I'm just going to use myself. I know that if I start losing like $400 or $500, I'm going to start tilting off. A big problem I had going through trader valuations was I knew if I lost about 1,000, I might as well lose 3,000 because I was just going to spiral downwards. So I love that you can do that yourself. Again, I don't have to email support like NinjaTrade and tell them like, oh, hey, please do this. And I can set this every single day. It's easy to adjust. So obviously I'm a big fan. I'm giving Tradovate the big win on this one. So in summary, to go over all the points, as far as margins, got to give it to NinjaTrade Brokerage. They have the lower margins. All in trading fees and commissions, it's a draw. And it's a draw because commissions are cheaper at Tradovate, but the membership fees are cheaper with NinjaTrader. The total works out about the same. That's that calculation I did. But keep in mind that was using the specifics of the example I gave. Do the math yourself. Platform, I put a draw. My personal preference is the Tradovate platform. I trade using Jigsaw Day Trader, so all the extras with NinjaTrader don't matter so much to me, but I know that they matter a lot to other people. So NinjaTrader will be a big winner for a lot of people. Tradovate, I like that it's accessible easily. I can hop on the web, etc., whatever. Account management, we just went over it. Big win on Tradovate for that one. I just feel like NinjaTrader is like a decade in the past, if not more. And I honestly don't quite understand why, but nonetheless. So at the end of the day, trading is trading. So, buying and selling, all that stuff, that it just works the same for both accounts. That's why I haven't focused anything on trading specifics in here. It comes down to all these differences for me when choosing an account. So the winner, if you couldn't tell already, I had a hard time reeling it in, is Tradovate for me. The big things, again, the platform, and it's the accessibility of the platform. So I wrote, the web, the Mac app, the iPhone. And this isn't because I want to go and trade on my iPhone or anything like that. It has everything to do with emergency access. If my computer just froze and I was in a trade, if I'm with NinjaTrader, I'm screwed. Like, I don't know what to do at that point other than start trying to restart my computer and everything else. I have no way to access my NinjaTrader account easily that I'm aware of. Whereas with Tradovate, I could hop on my iPhone, log into the Tradovate app, and I'm quickly able to manage it. So I love that about it, that I quickly have kind of a redundancy, a backup plan. As well, the account management stuff is just huge to me. It's just far more modern. It's more like what you would expect, I think. I love the fact that I can set a drawdown. That was a big one for me. I mean, you have to take away from it what's important to you. I could easily see where like having access to NinjaTrader software is far more important to people than setting a drawdown. Hey, then maybe NinjaTraders, they account for you. Also multiple bank accounts, like I do use multiple bank accounts. These are simple things that maybe don't sound important, but just they're easy. It makes my life easier to be able to just pop in the app, set my daily loss limit, be able to decide which bank account I want to withdraw money to, and not have to email support for every little thing I want to do. So, guys, I'm giving it to Tradovate, but definitely, I have an NinjaTrade Brokerage as well for a reason. I do like it, especially relative to some of the other brokerages out there. So I'm not saying NinjaTrader is bad. I'm just saying between the two, I prefer Tradovate. So guys, that is pretty much it. I would love if you would like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. As well, you can visit my site. The link is down below. It's CanadianFuturesTrader.ca. I already showed you at the beginning of the video, but I write articles, put up other information, etc. And that is it. I hope you found this video useful, and I will see you in the next video.